friends, Tim Kelly, Master Photo Techniques. Today we're going to cover one of the other chapters of what the camera is set at and why. So we did a module on using strobes in the studio, and now we're going to go to constant light. Now let me preface it with, this is what we're doing now. We're doing constant light in the studio, and we're using the LVLUP panels and continuous LED lights, which are NAND lights for the most part. And in doing this changeover, we have new rules, quite a bit of them. So since we're not syncing anymore, we can shoot at whatever shutter speed we need to. If we're gonna try and freeze a dancer, of course, we're gonna go up to 1,000th of a second, which will require a lot of light. If we're doing a standard studio portrait, I'll probably shoot at 200, 250th of a second, that kind of thing. I have to test my subjects. I have little kids running around, I may wanna up it. Then the aperture, again, is a choice. And my choice, similarly, is that I'm gonna be more wide open when I have a single or a double, one or two people as a portrait subject. If I have a bigger group, I'm gonna opt to go down to like f8 or so to guarantee that I have good focus all the way from the first row or the floor all the way to the people standing in the back row. So that's how I would choose my working aperture. We know that we're gonna want to amplify the amount of light captured without cranking all the LEDs up to full blast, you know. So to make it comfortable on the eyes, we'll start at like 400 or 800 ISO. And of course, today's cameras will give you a beautiful, beautiful image at those ISOs and higher. So I'm choosing now, setting my camera again, ISO 800, 200th of a second, kind of a minimum for handheld stuff in the studio, and 5.6. The camera's focused beautifully, so for normal sessions, this would be just fine. So it is your choice, and that's what I've chosen. Now you have to be analyzing your results. I happen to know in my camera room that I'm gonna set these lights on certain settings. We have our main light at only about 1/4 power on a 700 watt unit. Okay, so maybe it's 200 watts or less through a panel. Then the other active light that I'm using right now is my background light, which is a Fresnel spot with barn doors. And that's set down at, I think, 17%. And it's a 300 watt unit. Make adjustments until you like the results. So you're just doing a mixer of light. And that's what I do. I decide what I want to work at, test it until the lighting is just right. You got to become a judge of your own lighting. Now, sometimes there has to be bigger changes. Let's say I have a group and I'm at 5.6 and I want to go to 8. I have two choices. I go to 8, of course everything gets a stop darker, so I can double my light or I can double my ISO. There's a lot of ways to go to make those adjustments. So there's a lot of daily events where you have to change your mind about your settings. Let's say your subject is moving too much, or you have your handheld, you have too much shake. Maybe you should use a camera stand or a tripod, but I like shooting by hand or handheld. So I end up not in a strobe studio, but in the constant light studio, I need to be at 250 or higher. So even though if I was shooting at 125, the light would look better, I gotta crank it up to 250 or more and just add more light. But I'm loving doing the lighting this way. It's not new to me. It might be new to you, but it is like available light. It's like Windows. And in my early days of studio work, serious studio and commercial work, I was following the Dean Collins style, which used lots of reflectors, scrims, diffusers, all that kind of thing. And so I'm very used to it. When softboxes became really the way to go, I use those. But now I'm back to the big panels because I like the non-flash aspect of what you see is what you get, and I love it. So this is how you do your camera settings for continuous light. It's just like outdoors. You choose how you want to capture based on, do you have to freeze action? Do you want a nice soft focus? Do you want sharp focus? All those things are determined by you. So just asking me how I set my camera is not enough information. It depends on a lot of things. But I hope you find this very helpful. And I'm gonna do another module on location strobe lighting featuring Godox. Thanks for being with us.